Hello and welcome to this video on the DAX and FTSE analysis for today. I'm going to show you how easy it is to get these pivot point levels that I use each day. I'm using a script. I go into the navigator and I just simply drag it onto the chart and it drops all of the levels that I need for that day. So every day this gets updated and we can see here we've got the close gap. If I zoom out a little, we can see that the levels don't take up days that it doesn't walk into. So for example, it only takes the days trading. It doesn't expand out into the next days, and it works across all the time frames. On the 5-minute, we can see here that the DAX is very close to the close gap as we approach the opening session for the London Open. What I'd be expecting here is a possible push up into these breakout long levels, perhaps a rejection back down towards the close gap, or a continuation of the long movement. In saying that, we've also got the weekly price, the weekly Bollinger Band. We're opening outside of the weekly Bollinger Band upper band. Now, often that will indicate, as we can see here, when we open outside, perhaps we'll have a week that doesn't move too much, but then it's indicating that we have a very high likelihood that we're going to revert back to the mean at some point. What point that is, I'm not too sure, because look at this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 7th weekly candle that's positive so far. So very bullish momentum on the DAX. So we're not sure where that's actually going to turn around, but these levels do help trade on an intraday basis, and it helps you to determine where your stops and targets might land. I'll do the same process for the FTSE. So just grab the updater, I drop it into the chart, and we can see here the close gap, or perhaps in 50 minutes will open close to that close gap. If it does move away, perhaps lower, that will form a nice target for us, potentially going up to this breakout long for any rejections off that. If it's a nice strong spike at the open, perhaps a not sustainable price movement where we can reject off these levels here. So it's as easy as that to get the levels on your chart. Links in the description below if you want to go grab those. As for today's trading, it doesn't look like there's anything outstanding. We've got a bit of confluence here with the breakout long and the R1. However, there's nothing really outstanding to me in terms of a solid trade setup. I'd probably have more bias towards buying if we don't go too far above this close gap here. We might sort of spike down a little, touch that before rising back up, or we might just continue rallying higher. What I am looking for though in the longer term is at some point this huge spike up, even on a monthly chart, we're outside of the Bollinger Band, which is almost unheard of. At some point, this market is probably going to decline hard and fast. It's going to wipe out quite a lot of points on the DAX in particular, because we've barely seen any retracements for a long period of time. So if I scan out, it's almost vertical, which isn't really meant to happen in most financial markets, particularly one as big as the DAX. So at some point, I'm expecting some event to take place that will spook the markets and start a hefty decline, and it will be swift when it occurs. So I'm hanging back, waiting for that to occur, and I'll start to potentially take short positions into that and simply hold it for perhaps a couple of months, depending on what happens through that period. But as for now, it's still very bullish, so it's very hard to get short and hold that. You'd need a lot of capital to be able to stay in the market and hold those positions with the trajectory that the DAX has been on. That's it from me today. If you want these levels on your chart, simply head over to the website in the link in the description and get access to the scripts and the Trends Algo EA, which you can find in the next video.